Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Friday Night Build Show. Hopefully we can get through a few builds tonight. It's been quite the day, actually. Busy AF. We'll see if we can get through a few builds. We've got a couple tonight. First on the docket is Derek's build. Next is Liam's build, which both of these need to be ready to go for tomorrow. For those at least. Those are our priorities. Bert's build would be priority number 3. That is the lineup for tonight. And if we do have some time, we can maybe even throw in a 4th build, but I don't think we will. Pretty sure we're going to get stuck with just the 3 at least. So it's just going to be the 3 of us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the builds. Build number 1. Build number 1 for Derek. We've got an ID cooling tower air cooler, which is an SE214 XT. He uses this cooler a lot. Hey, Noob Sauce, what's up? Sweet, it's building time! The kids went to bed, so I could stream. I'm just kidding. But it's kind of what happened tonight. So we are building Derek's build tonight. It's going to be an Intel-based board, if you couldn't tell. It's an Intel i3 10100F. We had a pretty tight budget for this build, so it's a great it's a great machine to start with and upgrade with. So you'll be able to play 1080p with all these parts that we're building with tonight. No problem at all. And then upgrade later down the road. He's also a local customer, so he'll be picking up, and we're trying to have this thing ready to go for him tomorrow. That is the goal, at least. Right meow. So let's see if we can get that done for him tonight. So we've got an Asus TUF Gaming motherboard along with that Intel i3. We were able to also grab a GTX 1660. I believe this is the Super. It is Evo 6GB graphics card. Pair with the Asus TUF Gaming B560 motherboard. This is micro ATX as well. With that ID cooling, 16 gigs of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM and 1 TB of space. So he'll pretty much be able to play any 1080p, any game 1080p with this setup. Not a problem. Then we've also got a 500 watt power supply, and we're building this into an Antec NX410. I've used these a few times. They're very similar to the Lian Li Landcool 205 mesh. Very similar. So it's a very similar case. It's pretty much the same thing, except it's Antec instead of Lian Li. I'd say Lian Li's fans are a little bit higher quality, but at the time, this case was a better price for the budget, so we had to roll with this one. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this build. We actually might have a problem. We do. This board's going to be a no-go. 99% sure. You can't see it. I don't know if it's going to focus well enough, but there's a slight pin out of place right there. I haven't ran into this problem in a while. It's like in place, but it's not. I don't know how this is going to work, turn out. I'll try it. Not. It is. In fact, it looks like there's just something in there. Let me get my pick. Well, that was a screeching halt. Let's see if I have another one of these boards. The board is good fit in the case, actually. Got a Wi-Fi board. I don't think I'm going to even chance it with this board. That looks too questionable. I just don't want to put a board together and then have a problem with it. It almost looks like there's thermal paste in there, which shouldn't be possible. So I'm pretty sure we got sent a open box board. So I'm gonna set that one aside. We're just gonna go with the other one. Not a Wi-Fi board, but I have a workaround for that. So, off to a great start. Oh, you know what? I think that's actually a B550. Yeah, that board's B550, never mind. I was like, oh, I think I actually do have a Wi-Fi board here. This one is actually a ATX board. It is not a tough gaming like it shows here on the box, because I had a customer that built their PC, we built their PC, and then they're like, hey, we want Wi-Fi. I don't usually use the PCA Wi-Fi cards because they have problems, or they have had problems in the past. So, we'll figure this out tomorrow. The Wi-Fi. But this is a perfectly good board, it's brand new. Just in the wrong box. That was always his thing. Most terrified when I built Bent Pin. Yeah, you know what? Micro Center actually opens the motherboard and checks the pins at checkout, even with brand new boards, because that can happen. But this board, I can tell you right now, I didn't really inspect it earlier, but I can tell you it looks like an open box board, and there's signs of thermal paste there. So I believe we got sent what was supposed to be a new board, a open box board. So we'll send that back. I'll just get him this D4 or B560 Plus, which is an Asus Prime, the full ATX board. Downside is it doesn't have Wi-Fi built into it. So, and I think that was one of the requirements. So we'll have to work that out tomorrow with either a Wi-Fi card or something else. Or I have to come back and get him a different board later. Something will change. That's why we look at the parts. Pay attention. You know what? I'm going to put the drive down here. This is a B560. If we ever upgrade the CPU in the build, we can always use this M.2 slot at the top. M4. I'd rather put it down there for him to do that. This is not a Gen 4 drive. Just be easier in the future. This board does have Wi-Fi abilities. That's cool. Off to a great start, guys. I need to put the stud in first. Excited to see the results. Derek, hey, what's up, man? Hey, so the motherboard I originally had here for your build was no good. The pins were all jacked up on that B560M Tough Gaming motherboard that I had originally planned for the build. So we're switching over to this B560, which is a full ATX board. I don't know. Did you need the Wi-Fi by chance, Rick? Derek? Is that a requirement, the Wi-Fi? Because if so, I could get it added. That's the one thing that this board doesn't have is built-in Wi-Fi. So we can always fix that and get an external card or an internal card. Yes? Okay. So we'll make sure that it has Wi-Fi. But that other board that I wanted to use, that I ordered for your build, had some bent pins, which may have worked, but may have had problems as well later. Usually if there's a bent pin, I don't even bother. But I do have this board on hand, so this will work. Make it work. And then if you really want me to, I can get the board and then swap it back out later. Pretty sure Wi-Fi. We got Wi-Fi cards somewhere. I'll find it. Also got another Z590 with Wi-Fi, but it's in a build right now. I could use that. Either way, we'll have a build, and it will be fully functional, running great. So don't worry. This kind of crap actually, running into lemon parts and stuff like this happens a lot. Usually I check the parts before we do any type of like live stream, but I've been so busy, haven't really been to really able to examine the parts very well. So normally you won't see that from me. And I've actually had a couple of bad boards live on stream and stuff, so stuff happens. But that's why we build it, so we can root out the problems, make it right before you get it. That's why I have the battle tested phases for all the computers. We go through and test everything. This every time. I forget what one is what. Smooth gray color. So how are you doing tonight, Derek? Excited to get the build tomorrow? We're here and we're building it. Huh. Oops. Doing good? Playing some COD. Nice. Boys were hitting me up, telling me I need to play some PUBG tonight. Don't know if I'm going to get to there. Have you tried PlayerUnknown Battleground PUBG? Pretty fun game. A lot of tactics in that game. And the one I was stuck on for a while now. But it's Friday night. We got builds to do. No PUBG yet. Idiot. I did this. Somebody didn't pay attention to the assignment. We're just getting this cooler mounted, and I apparently decided that I was going to put the brackets on for the first time backwards in a long time. Because why not? Build with this cooler a lot, but for some reason tonight I decided it was going to be a good idea to put the brackets on backwards. I'm just warming up today, okay? Y'all can calm down. Alright, so we've got our CPU fan header, which is going to go into the CPU fan. And we've got an RGB header. Going to run towards the back of the case. And we're going to eventually be plugged into that header there. Towards the bottom. So these clips hold the fan in place. Attaches it to the heatsink for your big metal fins, and it blows cool air across those fins into the which are cooling those heat pipes, and that's what keeps the CPU cool. All right. Guess we're ready to pull that case out. Let's go ahead and do that. evening, fam ups. What's up, man? How's it going over there? So this is the NX410 by Antec. It's an ATX mid tower, very similar to your Landcool 205 mesh ATX mid tower. Very similar. A couple of different things is the fact that I believe with the Landcool 205 mesh you have a USB-C on the front, and you also have at least the newer version of it. You also have a fan hub or RGB hub and fan hub on the back. This one we do not, I believe, have that. Don't remember. See? But it's got the same fans, the same style case. Everything about the case is pretty much the same thing. So, also the other difference is the glass panel is a door. Hinged door instead of just a panel that you mount. Damn twist ties. Don't get me. Going good? Just got the kids to bed. Time to relax? Dude, that's what I just did. Now it's like time to stream. I hear ya. Trying to get this going a little earlier, but it was not my destiny today. Or I'm going to try to have an earlier stream for you guys. So if we at least get through 2 of these builds, I'll have for sure 2 builds to do tomorrow. We do not need these studs. This is an ATX board, but it is not using the full ATX width. So just these. Finally got all your new parts so you can rebuild your pre-built. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. Rebuild the pre-build. What'd you get? What kind? What parts did you get? I think you were talking about a few of them for a while now. I don't know what you ended up with. Maybe I do. I think you were talking about it. Did you go somewhere to buy them, or did you just order them online, or what'd you do? Ordered online. Nice. Amazon, Newegg, maybe Micro Center. They don't really like shipping stuff though. So maybe not them. Both, yeah. Haven't been a fan of Newegg lately, but they're still there. They still got parts when a lot of people don't, so sometimes you really don't have a choice. Nice. All right, board's mounted. Get some of these cables on the back side pushed through the front so we can get all that plugged in. USB 3. I'm gonna send it right about. I think it was there, right? Too high. These we're gonna send down here. Without the crazy tangle loop. We've got USB 2.0 HD audio going there. And then we have our addressable RGB 2 connections here, so we're gonna have to get a splitter. Split those connections. Do I have any sitting over here? Usually I have one or two sitting over here. Just for this purpose. I don't. Guess I need to order more of those splitters. Got hubs and stuff, but for the splitters, for just 2 connections. This is a little magnetic solar hub. So it will do the job. It'll get her done. Good. Anybody in here like jazz? My dad's a big jazz player. Plays bass, drums, saxophone. I kind of grew up on it. Alright, so we've got all our front panel connections in. Our HD audio, USB 2.0, our addressable RGB 5-volt 3-pin, our, I guess, front panel power LED connections, USB 3, that's all in. Got our fan header, good to go. So what's next? I guess we'll slap the card in here. Got some punch outs. That's one other cheaper item on this case versus Lee & Lee Land Cool. The fact that you have punch outs and not just things, case covers, even though they send you them. They send you 4 with the case, but they're not in the case, which is kind of weird. Okay. Why not just put those in there? This is our RTX GTX 1660 Super. Got 6 gigs. It's 192-bit graphics card. Still a very capable graphics card for 1080p. It'll deliver probably around 100 plus FPS in 1080p. still a great card. This is also the Super with the OC. So, and a bigger heatsink with a couple of beefy dual fans. That's Asus Dual OC is the model. I think they also had a name for it, the Evo. More specifically. Great card. There we go. We've got our motherboard, CPU, cooler, RAM, SSD, our graphics card, our case pretty much prepped. I guess the only thing we need to do is slap the power supply in here, then fire this bad boy up and see if we can get it to come to life. See if we get a post. How about that? Like, oh my gosh, Ben, how'd you build it so fast? Even when you had to dick around with a motherboard. That's because you usually see me do more complicated builds. Today we got a few less complicated. Solid builds to start out with, though. Definitely, this is what I build for people who want to start playing, but don't want to invest in all the heavy parts right now. They're kind of waiting for parts to come down in price and stuff. This is all I'd recommend doing. If you want to start playing on PC and you don't have to like stream or anything, straight up gaming, all you want to do. Something like this is all you really need. You don't have to get crazy stuff. Great solid build. They have RGB lighting on it, so it's going to look badass and it's going to perform badass. It's completely upgradable. Yo, Asus Z390. Oh, so you did go with a bigger, or a Z390. 6 120mm Noctua Chroma fans. Okay. Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro, 32 gigabytes. Corsair RM 750E, and a fractal Meshify C case. I never understood how to pronounce that right. And I've been building in cases for years. The Meshify C. So that means it's USB-C. But I love the Meshify case. That's a great case to go with. And I already have the i7-9700 and the 2070 Super. That's right. That'll be a solid upgrade, sir. You'll have, I can't remember what case you were in, but I think it was like an iBuyPower or something. You'll have much better airflow. Your temps will be so much better. Although if you have been running that 9700K inside that PC for a while, it might be something you want to look at. So I don't recommend doing unless you kind of are confident doing it, delighting it, and redoing the thermal paste below it. I only recommend that if you are confident in doing that. Do not do it if you don't want to, or if you're not confident in yourself. Don't even try. You get really screwed up. May not even be able to get it back on. The other thing which you should be able to do, and you should be confident doing, is replace the thermal paste on the graphics card. That's probably more important, especially for just gaming. So if that graphics card ran in an oven for a little while, then you're going to want to do that thermal paste on the graphics card at least. That'll give you the best possible experience without delighting that thing. Probably not even needed with the 9700K because it throttles. But definitely redoing the thermal paste and maybe even the pads on the graphics card might be a really good idea. Get a little bit more life out of that GPU. That's what I do for any iBuyPower or CyberPower that comes in here and we're doing a case swap. The number one thing I do is thermal pads and thermal paste on the graphics card. Hey, what's up, Mr. Duck? How's it going, man? Asus case? Oh no, then it should be alright. I wouldn't even bother deliting that thing or even thinking about it then. Don't even think about what I just said. But the graphics card, you might get some more life out of it by doing the thermal pads and the thermal paste still. Especially if it's been over a year. So, I guess what you could do is build it in the new case, run a benchmark on the graphics card, and see if it's thermal throttling. You could really tell because you should know if you look up the specs on the card, see what its boost clock is. And if it's not able to boost where it's supposed to, or if it's down clocking itself, and the temps are above like 85, 80-ish, 80, 85, 80, then you are most likely thermal throttling. But take note on the FPS that you're getting before, then do the thermal paste if you know for sure it is thermal throttling. Do the thermal paste and the thermal pads, and then redo the benchmark and see how much more performance you get out of it. You'll be pretty surprised. If it is thermal throttling, you'll be surprised on how much more performance you get by just doing a thermal paste and pad replacement. Kind of like an oil change on your car. The car's just going to run and sound better with a fresh oil change. Alright. Kind of looks like a PC, doesn't it? Yeah? Let's do some cable management real quick. Let's fire this bad boy up, shall we? Oh, I guess I do have to plug this stuff in too. And I should have. Oops, I need to fix that. I routed this cable. Kind of funny. Bad Ben. We'll redo that. You just get over here and chill over here, dude. It's driving me nuts. I'm tired of looking at you over there. Quit screwing with me. How do I want to do this? I guess we should do here. What's the best encoding CPU? Like, oh geez. CPU, I'd probably only running OBS and a few streaming software. Probably your Intel, I'd say. An i7 and up. Definitely 10th generation and up. So, I mean, best out today. I mean, obviously, you go to a 13900K. Oh yeah, I was trying to explain that to you. I think you went overkill. But there's no shame in it. Because if it makes you happy, so be it. It makes you happy. I'm not gonna sit here and say, didn't do it. I know it makes me happy. I think everybody should be happy, so let's go for it. Mr. Duck. The good thing about going overkill is that now, yeah, it'll last longer. You won't have to deal with it for a while. Overkill is not a bad thing. I actually play with a guy named Overkill on our Discord channel. Pretty cool dude. So, overkill is cool. I'm just saying. I've met Overkill. He's a cool dude. I can't believe how fast PC parts are being updated now. Yeah, I know. It's just amazing. I feel like once we hit the like 9th gen Intel, since then it's just been the leaps, the leaps we've gone per generation is so much further, faster than ever before. Like, I remember when AMD Socket A stuck around forever. I mean, it was there for a long time. Stuff like that. I mean, just... it's moving way faster than it ever has. I think it's because the demand is there. Like, there's more people playing PC gaming now than there ever was. So the market has grown. As well as the need for the technology is there now. There's more need for the technology than before. Because we rely on it to do stuff now. For example, our AI stuff is needing more and more horsepower. And that's just growing. We will eventually have this AI that does everything for us. But to get there, we need the horsepower to drive that stuff. That is the direction we're going. I think that's honestly the biggest drive is the AI portion of it, needing the horsepower to drive AI. That is what's driving probably the majority of this tech increase day and age. All right, not too shabby, right? Pretty clean. Last thing I got to do is plug that 24 pin in. I mean, I did a pretty good job on that, right? It's a clean. I don't know what sign that was. I actually probably gave you the wrong sign. I'm not actually from Italy, but my family was. It's more like my grandma's probably gonna slap me. I can feel it. Come to GCX. Why do you want me to come to CGX? What is that for me? Oh, oi, wanker! Who's the wanker in here? Try to get me going on my British accent. Or is this Australian? I don't even know the difference. Big people? Well, I'm kind of a big deal around here. No, I'm just kidding. Not a big deal. I mean, like, I'm a big guy. Like, I'm big. We're actually just talking about this. My wife made a comment about somebody's weight, and I'm like, she's like, you know, he hasn't weighed 113 pounds, and I was like, you know, I was born above 113 pounds, my poor mother. Oh. I don't know what it's like to weigh that much. Who's the wanker, though? Big people. Hey, try kidnap me? Sure. You have to roll up on a van, you know. And I grew up on a ranch, so if you've watched Yellowstone, you probably get it. So good luck with that. Now we'll keep the glass off. Let's fire this bad boy up, Derek. How about that? How about we do that? And then I'll figure out the Wi-Fi tomorrow morning. Easy grabs. White van says cheap wholesale PC parts. Yeah, that is my Oh, you got cheap PC parts in here? You got deals? Wouldn't be able to resist that. I'd be all tied up in the back of the van in like 3 seconds. For sure, that's what would happen. If you roll up with a van, it says cheap or PC parts deals or something, I am totally going to be in the van. For sure. All right. We didn't build with the bent pins motherboard, aka this piece of shit over here. So we replaced it with a B560M Asus Prime. Downside is it doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi, so that's one thing I got to figure out next for Derek, who wants to pick up his PC tomorrow. So I got to get that figured out. But I should be able to do that in the morning. 3 builds tonight. We're trying. For sure, we're doing 2. The next one's going to be a pink one. Well, white and pink. And the white and pink one's going to Canada, eh? We've got a post. I actually need to go back there and push a button real quick. So this RGB controller has a hardware controller on it as well, but I want it synced to the motherboard. And then these fans need to get synced to the motherboard. Which is one of these modes. There we go. Much better. He's hoping for 4. Nah, there's no way, man. No way. I ain't doing 4 tonight. It's Friday night, guys. I need to do something with my life other than build PCs. I'm just kidding. We'll see if you know what, if this, we're not into like 3 crazy hours or something, I'm totally gonna do it. Mr. Duck, which unicorn are you looking for again? I'm sorry. Might need to ship you the water cool build to build on stream. I actually have one of those to do back there. Derek, your build! It's up and running. We just need Wi-Fi on it next. I was gonna just give Derek a few minutes to catch up. It looks great. Awesome! Good luck with that. Alright guys, let's shut her down. I'll be coming back to this one. Don't worry, Rick. We're just going to move on to the next build. We got a couple. Right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have the next build for Liam. This is the build that's going to Canada. It's white, and it's pink. And it's AMD Ryzen 5. With a B450, 16 gigs of T-Force, addressable RGB white. Maybe I should switch the camera. Addressable RGB, T-Force Delta by Team Group. Got a white ID cooling cooler. Pretty much the same cooler that we were just building with, except it's white. Got to be slapped on top of that Ryzen 3600, Ryzen 5. Jesus. And last but not least, not least, our pink cables, pink and white, going to be built into a LAN Cool 205. Nope, I'm sorry. Take that back. That was the original plan, but we changed it to a Montech Air 100. White. The only one left in the state of Michigan, too. I could not find another. 500 watt power supply. And we also have a GTX 1650 for this build. So we leaned a lot more on aesthetics, because the games that are going to be played on this PC is more like Sims 4. So it's nothing super demanding. And it's mostly just 1080p. And it is going to his girlfriend who lives in Canada. So he wanted to make this a very special build for her, I think birthday or something. I can't remember exactly. But we are building it for a birthday present, I think. So, white and pink. That's what we rolled with. Thank you. AC. Oh yeah, that's right. You're looking for the 790 Maximus Extreme. You know, I actually saw a couple of those not too long ago, and I actually thought about buying them just to not have them, but to resell them. Sorry, but not, you know, crazy like double price or anything, just to make a buck. Also, when you find, that's the other thing. So if my website has unicorn parts, it attracts people to the website. Even if I sold it at the same price, I could be attracting somebody that just says, hey, why don't I just make these guys build the PC for me? because they see my price, and my price is actually very reasonable. All right, let's get started. So we're going to go with a B450 micro ATX motherboard. Has built-in Wi-Fi. All that good jazz. When your screwdrivers just magically disappear. Yes. Wow, this one's going to look so pretty. Makes me wish I would have gone, or would have been more creative when I ordered my new one now. There's so many different things you can do for the aesthetics to make it unique and actually make it look pretty badass, and it doesn't cost that much to do it. Over the years, we've gotten really good at doing it, knowing the parts. So when somebody says, hey, I've only got like $500 or whatever this one was, and I think it was like $600, but I want it to be a pink build. We can make it happen. Or pink and white build, for that matter. So I threw out some case ideas for him, and then we picked out, we wanted an accent of pink in the white case. So we went with these white pink cables, which I thought were really cool. They're just extensions, so I think they were like 25 bucks for the whole kit. It's a big kit, so I mean, I couldn't get it in the smaller kit, unfortunately, because there's smaller kits that are like 20 bucks. But they're pretty inexpensive things you could do to a PC. Now, what I would have done, instead of going with aesthetics, is taken that $25 and gone with a bigger power supply, so it would have been easier to upgrade in the future, but he said not to worry about that, really. The main thing was to make it white with an accent of pink. That was the main goal. That is why we are here today. But I build a lot, so I know kind of, I have ideas, I've seen things, guys. I see a lot of parts. So when somebody starts explaining something to me, all these images start rushing through my head like crazy. All the parts out there. Like I turn into that doctor, what's his name? Can't remember. Not good with names, though. You just dropped 3K on yours. Damn. I was worried about spending more because I was already near the top of your budget, and I still have my wife to contend with. Yes, totally understand. Totally get it. I can't even sneak a McDonald's burger through the checking account without somebody asking questions. How about that? Probably gonna come stomping in here saying that's not true. That's not true. So we got to remove these stock plastic brackets. These plastic brackets I always throw back in the bag and make sure they get shipped with the PC, because if they ever upgrade the cooler, though we already know they're probably not going to, at least not for a long time, but if they do, they have the brackets, because some coolers, when you go to upgrade, actually use those stock brackets. I always try to make sure those get sent with PC anytime I remove them, including the back plate whenever I remove the back plate. So I'm not putting these on backwards, don't worry. AMD, you have to flip them this way. Intel, you have to flip them the other way. Okay? Nobody panic. Oh, small purchases are easy to hide. Huh. That's what's the... I shouldn't say it. You know where I'm going with that. Anyway. Just put it on the credit card so it's covered up by the payments. Oh, yeah. The thing is I'm a Dave Ramsey fan. Dave Ramsey. Yeah. No. Am I mixing it up? He's the financial nerd, isn't he? Basically, I listened to that guy so much that I hate interest. So now I don't use it. I don't use credit cards. The only thing I use credit cards for is buying parts, because some days I'm making purchases well over your limit on a debit card. So I have to make the purchases through like American Express, or actually do ACH, whatever you call it, transactions, where they just pull it directly out of the bank. Yeah, that stuff. But that's what I do a lot of. But the American Express is nice because there's huge rewards, and I pay it. I literally make the payment, and then it pulls it from my checking account. Cleared. Done. American Express is also weird in the business world, because they like you to pay above what you actually have. So basically, they owe you money, which is weird. I just found out that it just helps grow the card performance. And then I have more buying power when I need it. It's not like your traditional credit card. Thermal Grizzly going on tap. There we go. I should have zip tied that. Oops. The white theme's coming along. Time to get the case out. This is again the Montec Air 100 in white and black. Got a mesh front. Got 4 addressable RGB fans already included. White fans come with the white. Black comes with black. They are 5-volt, 3-pin addressable RGB, which you can plug into the motherboard. I believe they are 3-pin, not 4-pin PWM fans. Got USB 3.0, USB 2.0, your auxiliary jacks, both your microphone and your out on the top, as well as a reset, a power button. And then it also is separated from the front panel, so when you have to remove this front panel, clean it, you're not having to deal with a bunch of cables. So it's that modern approach and simplicity to cleaning it. Very nice. We just need to get our screws, our hardware, and it also includes a addressable RGB hub, which does have the reset button plugged into it if we wanted to use that. Which I might unplug this from the motherboard, plug it into that, so when they push the button, it's actually changing all of it except for the RAM. Just so it's more in sync if they decide that they want to push the button instead of using the software. But of course, I'm going to be recommending to use the software for the RGB. Go. Our hardware kit. Need to put in our back plate, and then we can mount our motherboard. This case is a beautiful white or black case. It's very modern micro ATX case. And for the price, with what you get, pretty impressive. And I mean, it's white. Very attractive, in my opinion. Been building PCs for a long time. This is an attractive case. All right, so we have all our studs in the right places. We do. Well then, let us build. We build. In Mother Russia, PC build you. Takes 6 to mount. I'll leave it and run the software. Now, this is going to be tricky because you need to get this at this point. I don't think I'm going to actually do that. I'll just split it. Then I have to need to order more of them splitters. So the only downside to this motherboard, a great budget board, is the CPU and the motherboard. I think it comes out to like 130 bucks right now. Find really good deal. Downside is it only has one fan header. Sucks, and it's always in the shittiest spot. I mean, the worst spot. Hey, what's up, Adam? What's going on? Over on YouTube? How's it going, sir? We're just building a white-pink build. Looking to have this one ready to go tomorrow. I believe Sunday it'll have its trip to Canada. From Michigan to Canada. I believe that's where it is going. We're headed. Gotta get this one done tonight. You know, I'm just wiring up all the front panel connections. I'm on a budget, and I was thinking should build a PC or get one from you for for a budget of 630, to be honest. Well, I think this one was 600, but they really leaned on the aesthetics. And honestly, this was only going to be playing like Sims 4, so I was a little bit lenient. I went with aesthetics more so than performance. But a $630 build, you could do like a 1660 Ryzen 5, 16 gigs of RAM, maybe squeeze in a terabyte SSD, depending on if we could get a good deal on a sale or not. But I mean, overall, it's gonna play pretty much any game, 1080p. Gonna look nice, and you know my cable management is top notch, and it'll be just like you built it, because you'll have all the parts and stuff. I've seen all the YouTubers show the FPS games, and they are like super cheap, and I'm really just looking for performance, for sure. You don't need like a $2,000 gaming PC to have a good 1080p gaming experience. You can do that with, you know, a few $100, $600. And then, you know, over time, if you want to upgrade your game a little bit, then you can upgrade. That's the beauty of PC. You can start with, you know, $500, and you know, over time, you know, wait as new hardware comes out, you can upgrade. Wish I could show you my cable management. It's so bad. Feel free to take a picture and send it to the Facebook page or wherever. I'd be happy to give you some pointers. Either that or I'm just going to close the app and go to bed. Done for the day. Is it that bad? I'm just kidding. But I have seen some pretty bad ones lately. I actually had a build come in today. He built it himself, and he kept getting errors on the PC. He was telling me, and he couldn't get it, so that Windows was always booting up. It ended up being just a CPU fan error, because we had the CPU fans plugged in the wrong spot. But anyway, long story short is his cable management wasn't that great, and I could not help myself. I had to go in there and clean it up. So I did. So this is a GTX 1650. I believe this is the XT version. I just had the box, but the SC Ultra. This is the SC Ultra by EVGA. What's better, GPU, GTX 1660 or an RX 6400? Definitely the 6600. For all those retro gamers out there, we're thinking of you. Definitely the 1660. The 6400 just... That's like... They make it look like a badass card, but it is not a bad... It's like a laptop GPU made for video editing. Not a good card. Will not be happy with that card. So definitely go with the 1660 over that. And if you can... Look at the RX 6600s, because they're similar in price to the GTX 1660 right now. And the 6600, the RX 6600, is going to run circles around the GTX 1660. So if you can make a RX 6600 happen, you're in good shape. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I feel like I'm fighting a boss. Speaking of retro, back in my day, graphics were only in bits. I think of the color limits there. Yep, I remember playing the Medal of Honor Allied Assault on a 32 megabyte graphics card. It's either Medal of Honor Allied Assault or might have been Unreal Tournament for that. I think the Medal of Honor Allied Assault made me hit the 128 when those were coming out. That was 16-bit when I was running that. Unreal Tournament was fun. We used to build all sorts of crazy maps, including like maps of the school and stuff, as terrible as that sounds today. It was fun. Got pretty creative. I'm gonna tell my whole school to subscribe so I can get that $1 PC. Dude. Yeah, the subs, any subs or any type of bits or anything like that that's donated to the channel goes straight to the $1 PC. The last $1 PC we did was right around Christmas time. So it's been, that was actually real fun doing that, so can't wait to do the next one. I like doing those, especially when, like, the person who won the last one didn't even have a PC yet, and he was looking to get into PC gaming, and he just never got into it, never, you know, spent the money to get into it. And who it went to was just, like, the absolute perfect situation. So, I was super, super happy where it ended up. You know? That's why, you know, that was my hope that that was the situation that it was going to be. And it ended up being that, so I was super happy. But they're really fun. But definitely, once we get there, I'm probably going to end up doing a $1 PC giveaway somewhere before we even get close to hitting our goal there because it's a pretty high goal. I can also lower that to do a cheaper build. Yo, what's up? Soup Sauce, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you, sir. And as you just heard, you're also supporting the $1 PC giveaway. 100% of what we make here on the channel goes to that. Oh. Thank you, sir. The community loves you. You got a lot of questions? Well, I've got a lot of time. So just hit me up whenever you got questions. I actually don't have, you know, crap tons of time. I'm just, right now I can talk, so hit me up with questions. What I'm here for, get this power supply slapped in here. Let's fire this bad boy up. We have to do a little bit of cable management, I guess, you know. That's why I did it. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Eventually, we will have another $1 PC giveaway. I'm actually planning to do one maybe quarterly, which is coming up here. So even if we're not at the mark, so I would like to keep that going. Help fund it, because giving away PCs is expensive. The last one we did was like a $1,200 build. Had like a, I think it was an Intel i7 11th gen. It was like 11700K, and it also was 32 gigs of RAM. I think it was an all-white build, so it was super clean, super white, super nice, and had a RTX 3050 in it. So it was a decent enough build to start out with, and also if somebody wanted to, they could stream on it. And that was my goal, was to, you know, somebody who wanted to start streaming and never got into it, or started PC gaming and never got into it. I have a decent enough rig to do all of that. They wanted to try it out, so I gave them the opportunity. And it was even cooler because he was local. That was really cool too, because I got to meet him. If I live close by, do you pay before I go pick it up, or do I pay when I pick it up? So usually if it's a custom build request, I charge up front, only because I've had a ton of people have me start builds and then just kind of ghost me, and then I'm sitting on all these parts. I've had that happen too many times. So usually it's, I need full commitment from you to pay up front for the build. A lot of people have actually told me that they really don't like that. I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy everybody's parts and then have you flake out on me. Full commitment, that's all. Definitely not taking advantage of people here. I mean, I do most of my work live. So I've just had too many people just ghost me after they start a build with me. And I'm like, okay. Thankfully, most of the times I've been able to put it towards the next build or something, or get it built and listed and sell it. I just don't like doing that. Especially if it's custom. Very much so. Custom, I will very much so like it paid up front. Two, do you only sell one PC for $1? Yes. It is basically a giveaway. The only reason why I charge $1 is because if I were giving it away, it would be considered gambling. And you can't do that. So, yeah, I have to actually sell it for $1. That's why you call it the $1 PC giveaway. So, that's why it's $1. Illegal to do any type of gambling, and that would be considered gambling, and people will, or the state and the federal, the IRS don't like that. So to stay out of trouble and clear, I charge you $1 for it, which is pretty much free. Nowadays, $1 is not worth much anymore. Question number 3, if I send $1, that counts for the $1 PC if you win it. So it is a drawing. $1 PC, once we hit that threshold, or once we get to that point of, or that time where I'm just going to do it anyway, then we will build that PC, and the next one we're going to do is subscribers will be entered, and followers will also be entered. And if you're following and subscribing, that means you have 2 entries. And then you get, then at that point it's just a drawing for your name. Your name gets pulled. I do a top 10 drawing, or a top 20 drawing, and then I do a top 10 drawing, a top 5, and then the winner. It's really exciting. It's fun. Tons of people here on the chat, of course, because it's a $1 PC giveaway. So, all the people's come out of the woodworks. But it's fun. And then, you know, if you get drawn, then it's just the $1, and you could just send me $1. I don't care. I'll even write down that you gave me $1. And you don't even have to. As long as the IRS goes to you and says, did you actually pay $1 for this, and I gave you a receipt for it, and it shows that you did, then we're good. I'll just say you paid in cash. Oh my gosh, this zip tie just wants to fight with me. This zip tie just took a crap. You ever get those zip ties that just don't zip anymore, or they just, you go to zip them and there's no zip? I seem to run into those a lot lately. You ain't got no zip, man. Alright. I know there was a data connection in here somewhere. We plugged in. There it is. Trying to sneak off, are you? You wee bugger. I'm probably going to keep this around the 2-hour mark. I don't think we're going to get to that third PC today, but we got the important ones done that I do need done for tomorrow. And I am going to be streaming tomorrow anyway. I don't want to, like, go too late here tonight. I'm going to be building anyway tomorrow. And I still have to do the software for these two PCs. I want to get the majority of it done. That they are running some benchmarks overnight. Getting them nice, toasty, and hot overnight. We can make sure they're running, staying cool while they're getting hot. All that jazz. There you go. Not too shabby on the backside. Probably could do one more zip tie there, but eh. Full send. We recently started getting into PC gaming, even though I never had one except a Windows 7 I bought for like 50 bucks back in 2021 that I can't run anything on it smooth. Other than cool math games. Oh yeah. I mean, the hardware is just older on it, that's all. I mean, you could get into a PC, custom gaming PC, or, you know, a gaming PC for pretty cheap right now. There's a lot of PCs on the market used. You just got to be careful what you are looking at. So make sure you know what you're looking at. Just don't want to get screwed by somebody saying it's a gaming PC for $150, and it's actually just an office PC with like a GT 1030 in it. And you know, there goes money. Just know what you're looking at. They threw an RGB fan in there to make it look like it has RGB in it. I see those a lot. So, I've actually had a few people come to me after they bought one and were like, I don't know, this guy says it's a gaming PC and it doesn't work like a gaming PC. It's because it's not a gaming PC. It's like your grandma's Civic with a fart pipe on it. Alright, here we go. Guess maybe we should change the camera view so you can actually see it. There we go. Y'all ready? Ooh, the light. The ram's already lighting up. It's like, ooh, giggity. Let's go. Never a good sign when you don't have RGB up there. Oh, there we go. I was going to say that fan hasn't turned on yet, but it did. Connected to the motherboard though. The RGB on the case fans are actually still being controlled by the controller. So we're going to sync that up right now. The motherboard, because it's a Gigabyte motherboard, it's going to glow orange out of the box. Never really understood that by Gigabyte. It's a very ugly color, in my opinion. Attractive-ish. In the white, it's not bad. But it's just like, meh. Where's the RGB? Alright, Liam. This is your build if you're out there watching. We are posted, sir. Another one. But I think for the evening, we're going to be calling it because we're right at 1 hour and 43 minutes here. So we got like 17 more minutes till we're at 2 hours. And we got 2 builds that we needed definitely done for tomorrow. So these were my priorities. I'm happy with it. I got to dink around with Derek's build. Not dink, but I got to figure out the Wi-Fi situation there. I think I have a couple of Wi-Fi cards over there that I'll throw in there. One of them. I'm 14 with $180 saving to get a PC, that's all. Well, like, you know, $180 could do it. It's just, it may be not the best looking. So, possible. But if you want something that you can grow into more so, I would say $550 would be your minimum targeted budget. This summer, definitely take some time and go out and do some jobs and make a few bucks, save it up. You can definitely make, $550 over a summer. What I used to do when I was a kid. Except I lived, in a farm area, so it was easy just going down the street, walking to a neighbor's farm, asking them if they have any work to do, and then, there I am either breaking leaves, chopping wood, or moving logs, or fixing fences, or painting fences, or painting barns, all sorts of stuff. So they paid me like $3 an hour. That was way back then. But I mean, $3 an hour, and I worked a full day, not having any really major bills. It was really easy to save money. Then you learned who actually paid more, so then you would mostly work for them. It was good learning experiences when I was a kid. So, we'll be doing a $1 giveaway PC here soon. And I will, and if you're not following on Twitch, we only are going to be going forward, because Facebook, we had some issues. Going forward, we're only drawing from Twitch followers and Twitch subscribers. Make sure you're following on the Twitch, Adam. I know that the YouTube's there, and I stream to it, but we will only be drawing the names from Twitch. So if you don't have a Twitch, go get a Twitch and just follow the channel. I'll be working this month and next month with my family, making $20. This is a good opportunity. Yeah, there you go. $20 and you got $200, and that's $300 left to make. So you could probably do that in less than a month in the summer when you got time to work it out. There's lots of places that'll actually take on a 14-year-old and pay you cash under the table. So, odd jobs. I don't know where you live, or, if you're in the city or in the country area or whatever, but there's still always opportunity out there. Just be safe about it. That's all I say. It's good to know the people that you're working for. But it doesn't hurt to ask, like, hey, do you got any jobs? I can make a few bucks, trying to save up for something. 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to have a job for you. Ah, shit. Dude. Come back here, screw. So tonight, we're going to call it 2 builds. That's been so far our limit lately. I'm built out for the day, honestly. You do have a limit when you're building a ton of PCs. I pay kids to help me during the summer, so there you go. See? I actually had a bunch of kids, because there was, it was actually last year. So I had a company mowing my lawn, because I literally just had no time to do it during the summer. And then they just randomly stopped showing up. So my lawn grew, and it got so bad that I actually had neighbor kids coming and knocking on the door and leaving flyers in my mailbox saying that they'll do it for $20. So, just little stuff like that. They even said they'd bring their own lawnmower. But I ended up having my brother come over and help me, which was the original plan, but he was also working a lot. I was like, I need help. So, thankfully, we've got a pretty big family over here, and they help me out a lot. And I owe them a lot. Well, alright, guys. I'm gonna jump for the night. I appreciate all of you jumping in and hanging out with me for the 2 builds that we did for Derek and Liam. Looking forward to getting these wrapped up here and getting them out the door so that they can start enjoying their new battle stations. But this is our pink/white build. Turned out pretty good looking. I think with the pink and white accents on the cables, really added some flavor to it. Probably gonna hurt my hand getting stuck in the fan here. Don't want that cable. Get in there. Turned out pretty nice, I think. The lighting isn't that great because of the stupid gigabyte colors. Noob Sauce, thanks man for hanging out. As always, I appreciate you, sir. And thank you for the sub tonight. Going towards the $1 PC giveaway, so thank you. The community appreciates your support. And everybody else, Adam, thanks for stopping in and hanging out. Your Hamtramck, like 30 minutes from you. So that area, I'm not very familiar with the area anymore. But back when I was growing up, I knew that was kind of a questionable area. So make sure you just talk to your parents about, you know, where you can find some jobs to make some money. They'll know. But have a good night, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out. And Adam, if you need any help finding parts on that budget, I'm happy to help for free. I'm not going to charge you for locating parts and stuff and helping you out. Happy to help. Good night, guys. Hey Adam, thanks for that follow, man. I appreciate you. I saw you just joined. Have a good night.